Okay, cool. Now we're live. Okay, cool. Now we're live. Actually, I may change the song. Okay. 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 Oh, that was hurting my head. Holy crap. Oh, that was hurting my head. Sorry, let me just figure out some stuff real quick. I'll start doing stuff in a second. I am figuring out some of this. Okay. Oh, you guys are gonna be able to hear my texts. That's okay. I don't really care. I'll figure it out later on when I get better at this. For a first year on my computer, I'd say this isn't terrible. It's definitely not great though. Oh, it's definitely not great. Okay, I've got one more thing to do, and then I'm gonna grab water, and then I will get into this mess that I have been prepping for the last day, and yet somehow I am still here unprepared. What do you mean I have to log in? Okay. The amount of times I have had to log into things today after doing so much yesterday, it's almost like I didn't do anything yesterday. and I'm just so confused. Mm,
Creativity is not something I wait for. I am
of
an
course, YouTube's
entrepreneur
gonna play
by
an
profession.
ad.
I'm always hunting and hustling for ideas. Adobe Creative Cloud is designed to be almost like a playground. They provide you with some really inspiring tools for you to start. It allows me to disappear in the creative process. It's about the making. Adobe Creative Cloud gets me into the zone.
I might change this goofy ass music. I'm gonna be so honest. I've been listening to this for 30 minutes trying to set everything up, and it's just it's just not what I want. It's just not what I want. It doesn't, I don't know. It just doesn't feel. I don't know what I can play. Let me see what this one sounds like. Because it's just not working for me. Okay, that's not terrible. That's not terrible. That is not terrible. Okay, let me see. Okay, I've got everything open. Looks like the screen doing okay. Okay, let me go grab a water real quick, and I will be back into this. I'm gonna take my earbuds out real quick. Mind you, I don't know what's going to happen. So just sit tight. Oh my God, this has been a mess of a day. Did it stop? It just stopped playing. It stopped playing music, but of course, it decided to tune into what I'm doing. Okay, that's all right. Whatever. Okay, well, there's no one here, but it's not really for streaming purpose. It's just for some upload. I thought I'd upload this on YouTube, see how it did. I don't know. I have been, is it too loud? Am I too loud? Let me turn it down a little bit. Uh, Actually, hold on. Can I just turn the volume down a little bit? Oh, okay. I'm hoping it's a little better. I'm not sure what I just did. It got really quiet though. I'm hoping I'm not too loud. I might turn me down though a little bit. Just a bit. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. Okay. I will turn it down just a bit because I'm not trying to have it overpower me. But if I'm yapping. Okay. Welcome. Welcome to like a genuine stream where I don't just play Destiny or I play some random game and just talk. I still don't have a camera. If anyone has ever seen any of my my machinations, uh, I still don't have a camera. I could use my MacBook camera, but I look pretty scroungy. I literally woke up maybe 2 hours ago, and I've been trying to figure a lot of this out. A lot of this up. I've been trying to figure a lot of this out for streaming. Um, I grabbed food. I cleaned up my desk a little bit. Cleaned up my house a little bit. It's the weekend and working. It just doesn't give you a lot of time. And then I spent like an hour and a half trying to figure this all out when literally last night I was figuring this all out. And then it made me do it all over again. So that was awesome. I was just gonna set it up, have it ready, wake up this morning, come do stuff, and then stream, where that was not the case. But uh the name of this video is not what I'm doing with my life. It's a Mindflayer deck. So we're gonna do a Mindflayer deck because I'm sure we're all pretty upset with how season 5 ended with Stranger Things. And I don't know, it's just a fumble. I really like the show. I thought the ending was good and on an entertainment scale, on a story scale, there's just so many holes to the point where it just didn't really didn't really make me feel great. But I'm gonna I'm gonna try not to get on and go on a rant on that. So let's try not to go in on that. I am making a Mind Flayer deck. I do have a pocket of one open right now. So I'm going to use Moxfield to catalog the deck as I normally do, and I feel like as all Magic the Gathering players should. It's incredibly handy to keep track of your deck if you take it apart and you want to play it again some other time. Maybe it's a year from then. And then I also use EDH Rec for making a deck because I started playing Magic about a year ago, and there's a few cards I can remember by name, but I can't just look at a commander card that I want to be a commander and I say, "Oh, I know exactly to the count all 99 other cards I want to use for this deck." No, that's not how that works at all. I'm not there on that level. I don't even know if anyone's on that level. But personally, I like to have fun with my decks. I like to rule out all my options. So I'm going to rule out all my options. So I use this website to do that. And all you really have to do is, if it's going to let me, okay. So you can literally just, I never sign in. Maybe I should be signing in, but I never sign in. I just kind of search up my commander card and it does it for me. So my most recent deck was Final Hour of Glory, which is it's Najila, but it is the Secret Layer reprint with Archaon. So if it's gonna let me open that, that'd be awesome. I don't think it's going to. Okay, there we go. That was weird. I am on a MacBook, so if it decides to stop streaming or close it all, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. But I normally name my commander decks for the fun of it. I like to have fun with this. Commander is a great game. Magic is such a wide universe that you can do whatever, and I think naming a deck above all is probably one of the best parts about making a deck. Uh, Add some lore to it, but it is called Final Hour of Glory. I just whipped this up last night. I gotta be honest with you. Uh, yeah, I literally whipped this up 2, 3 in the morning. So, uh, I got bored. I was gonna stream it making this one today, but I figured I kind of wanted to watch some. I don't know. I don't know. I kind of wanted to watch some videos on Warhammer and just make the deck and just entertain myself. I also was watching my Magic the Gathering YouTube channel, that's what you want to call it. I feel like most people who play Magic have a YouTuber or someone they watch. I watch Meaty Magic. They're really funny over there. Papa Meat Canyon. I've been a fan since forever, but I normally watch Meaty Magic because when I started playing Magic, that's when the YouTube channel started. And in general, if you are playing Magic and maybe you've been playing for forever, maybe you're just getting into Magic. No matter what, I think you should have a YouTuber you watch because normally there will be a card or two that'll pop up that they will play, and they normally full screen it and show it. Uh, and then you're kind of like, wow, I've never seen that card. That'd be a really good card, which is what I did when I first started playing, watching videos, and I'd have a notebook or a piece of paper, and I'd normally jot down the card, and I'd normally try to list it later on to go to my local card shop and go grab that for a deck I was wanting to build. But besides that, so I've got Archaon the Ever Chosen or Najila the Blade Blossom, but I'm just gonna keep saying Archaon because Archaon's way fucking cooler. Not because Najila is a woman. Women are awesome. I just think this art is raw as shit, and I love Warhammer, so I'm gonna go with Archaon. I actually threw in Elspeth as a last minute, but that's not the point. So he's a warrior, a human warrior, 3/2. Whenever a warrior attacks, you may have its controller create a 1/1 white warrior creature token that's tapped and attacking as well. So every time a warrior attacks, no matter if it's just you that you want to make that happen, or if you're playing in a pod of four and one other player happens to be playing warriors, you having Archaon can allow that person to make a 1/1 White Warrior token that's attacking with it. So the whole point of this deck is overpower with warriors. Kind of, you want to get as many warriors in the field as possible, and you want contribution sent back for making those warriors, right? So the more warriors you have, those warriors should get something in return for having so many warriors. So, Banner of Kinship, if it lets me look at it, it's being really slow. There we go. This artifact enters, choose a creature type, warriors. This artifact enters with a fellowship count on it. For each creature you control of the chosen type, creatures you control of the chosen type get +1/+1 for each fellowship counter on this artifact. So, this is like one of the best kind of cards for a tribal deck because at its core, this is a tribal deck. Let's be honest. If it's juicing off of warriors, you're gonna want, you know, warriors to pretty much be the whole deck. I did try to kind of stick to the Warhammer side of things, but there are a lot of other good warriors that are really good ability wise and that really just juice up everybody. You also have something like Herald's Horn, which is good for tribal decks. Chromatic Lantern, because if you noticed, Archaon has all five colors in his color identity, and that is his mana payment ability, which is all five. Untap all attacking creatures, they gain trample, lifelink, and haste until end of turn. After this phase, there is an additional combat phase, activate only during combat. So, you know, you attack, you pay that, you untap everything, they gain trample, lifelink, and haste. Which I don't know really about haste, but it's probably for the soldiers you're bringing in. And I know I shouldn't say soldiers, I should say warriors because soldiers is a subtype of creature card. So I'm not even gonna mince my words on that. I am slipping. So that ability is pretty much for all the warriors you just brought in from attacking. So let's say you tapped to attack with 5, 7 warriors. You're getting a 1/1 warrior token for each one of those. So obviously, I have some other things in this deck that duplicate my tokens made. Elsbeth being one of them. If one more tokens would be created under your control, twice that many of those tokens are created instead. So if you swing with 7, you don't get 7 tokens, you get 14 tokens. And then, if you really got the mana, just pay that ability. And then you can have 14 1/1s you're swinging with. If, if, you know, you didn't lose any of them when they were attacking. You know what I mean? Still, though, super fun card. I was using this for a little bit for my dinosaur deck. Don't ask me why. I'm just slow and a little bit of an autist. So I like dinosaurs, robots, and dragons. That's what I like. I also like demons. I also like really cool human characters. I don't like basic humans. I've got Archaon. That should say enough. I literally grabbed Yuna Grand Summoner last week, and I haven't won that card for a while. I also grabbed Dragon last week along with her. I haven't played him, but her deck, super, super fun. Awesome card. But you can pay that ability. So he's all colors. So this as a commander, or Najila as the commander, are really great options for a warrior tribal deck or a tribal warrior deck. You have a card with all colors, which means you don't really have a limit on the colors you need. You just kind of have to watch your lands. And that's really it. And as you can see, I kind of do have a lot of each categorized card. I do a few in my sideboard that I was wanting to put in, but not important. I've got 7 instants, 10 sorceries, 40 lands, which is a lot. I might edit it later on if I feel so. But it's a 5 color. I kind of want this deck to be overly juiced to the max. 22 creatures, 4 enchantments, 15 artifacts, which if I take out lands, I'm probably going to add like 2 more enchantments and maybe another planeswalker or artifacts. I don't normally add planeswalkers, but considering the token generation and some of her abilities with with that ability for counters, I kind of feel like she's a good planeswalker for this deck. Now, obviously, I didn't know this off the top of my head, so let's type in Archaon. And I know this is a Mindflayer thing. I will get to the Mindflayer. All right. I'm just prefacing how I normally set up stuff and normally how I do stuff and how we're going to be making a Mindflayer deck today. That's just kind of what I'm going over. Now, if this loads, that would be such a godsend. It's it's probably gonna take a minute. Yeah. I didn't think streaming was gonna take this kind of toll on my computer. Let me close some stuff. Because I'm more than certain it's not helping. Okay. Okay, cool. It loaded. So here you have Archaon for your commander. Now you can look at it as a commander, a card, an average deck, or in decks. So you can kind of view all these. I normally just do commander because I play commander pretty strictly. I play standard on online, but I don't even play online as avidly as I play Pokemon TCG. So, it's just not for me. Commander is my casual game of enjoyment, while Pokemon TCG is more my competitive forte, if so to speak, I guess. I don't know. You can also see the brackets you want it to be in. I don't really touch this because the higher the bracket, the more expensive the card, or the deck, I should say. So I normally just keep it in all. I don't really fiddle with brackets. I like to get a grasp on everything. Now you can tweak the budget though. You can go with any kind of budget, or you can go with a cheap budget, or you can go with a really expensive budget, or a very liquid budget, I guess. And then you can also see tags. I'm sorry, tags for what kind of deck you want to do. So there's extra combat, there's an aggro, there's a birthing pod, and there's a warrior. Oh, those are the four. Okay, my bad. I swear there were more last night when I was looking. Because I almost did extra combats, but I did get on warriors because when you scroll, and this is the best part. So first out of categories to make the deck, it'll show you the new cards. So obviously looking here, the showing me the synergy one, or the highest one with synergy, would be Suki Kyoshi Captain. She's a human warrior ally. She subtype warrior. So you're gonna want to add her, not only because she's a warrior, but because other warriors you control get +1/+1. And her paid ability for 3 colorless and 1 white, attacking creatures you control gain Devil Strike until end of turn. Pretty sweet. And she's not that expensive. She's 53 cents, and she's in 294 decks. Wait, 294 decks of what though? I actually didn't look at that part. 259. Wait, I didn't mean to stumble on my words like that. But Out of these new cards, Suki would be the best one to add. Now there is Hexing Sculpture, which just came out, which, Lord have mercy, look at that price and look at that synergy. Not very good. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad card. This is a insane card. This is an insane card. It's a 2/2. Spell can't be countered. Ward is paid 2 life. Spells you control can't be countered. Other creatures you control have ward, pay 2 life. That's not hex proof. That's asking your opponent, do you want to? Now you can. Go ahead. Go ahead. Which obviously, if they're going to go after anyone, it's going to be Hexing Squelcher. But it's an expensive card. And for this deck, sure, with how many creatures you have, it could be super handy. I'm not saying it's not. It's only 2 mana, and you're not really losing anything from it. Spells you control can't be countered, and that they all other spells, I'm sorry, not other spells. All creatures have ward. Not to mention this spell can't be countered either, and the ward is pay 2 life instead of pay 2 mana. That's a much better ward than anything. I think that's the exact same ward on Valgavoth Hero of Souls, which great deck. That's probably my favorite precon. That is my favorite precon of all time for right now. Uh, First, coming in second would be Bader, not kin to all, but the precon for Tarkir. Third would be the Horizon, I think Horizon Eldrazi with Ulalek. 5 colored, colorless. Great decks. They're really fun. Ulalek, though, is really mean. Bader is just a really fun wall to play with. And Velgavoth is awesome. Duskmourn is my favorite set. So, of course, I want Velgavoth. He's my favorite demon. And he was my first card to even when I started getting into Magic. So, but this is not a bad card for a deck. If you're doing a Goblin or Sorcerer or Tribal deck, this is a great card for you. Insanely good. If you're doing a tribal deck like that, this is a crazy card. If you're not doing a tribal deck, don't touch it. Just wait till to go down in price. Lauren Eclipse just came out. Give it some time. This will go down. I'm not saying it'll go down to that. And mind you, this is I I think is this the I think this is the base art. Yeah. So it'll go down. It just came out. That's why it's so big and it's gonna be big and competitive, but it'll go down. Just take a minute. Make yourself a copy at home on some paper. Put a Poke card behind it and put it in a sleeve. Do that. I promise you. I've never done that. I've thought about it many times, but let's keep going. We've got high synergy cards, top cards, game changers, which game changers will change the bracket of what the deck is. You got your creatures, your instants, your sorceries, utility artifacts, enchantments, planeswalkers, utility lands, mana artifacts, and lands. And then you just go back to the top. But I'll scroll for a second. So these are the high synergy ones, which are also warriors, except that one. But I think it's more of the ability. Whenever Devery, Egyptian Tactician, enters the battlefield, or a creature you control does combat damage to a player, you may tap or untap target permanent. This is good if you have a permanent who needs to be tapped for mana, meaning you can untap mana rocks or mana dorks. Either or, man. Which this card is a good card above all. Um, it's more of just, allowing you to have a little more freedom for mana in your deck, especially with it being 5 colored, which I'm guessing is why it's such a high synergy with the deck, given it's not a warrior. But seeing those colors, I might add that in my unit deck. But you can also see the pricing. It's a bit much because, I mean, come on. It's got good colors. It's a great bird. It's a 2/3, and the abilities are crazy. Put Devry onto the battlefield from the command zone. So this is a commander, basically, is what they're getting at. This is meant to be a commander card. I mean, that ability alone, that's a commander card. You can't tell me I'm wrong. Now, here's some other warriors. Which professional base breaker? It's a fun card. I like to work off of treasure tokens, so I think this one's a really fun one, especially if you're trying to get cards in your hand really fast, or you're just trying to build up mana. Champion of Lambo is a good card as well. It's a good, it's a good power seeker, if that makes sense. Creature with power less than champion landlord's power can't block creatures you control. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Champion of Landbolt. So she starts off as a 1/1, and you put a counter on for every creature that enters under your control, anyways. And creatures opponents control with power less than Champion of Landbolt's power can't block creatures control. So if you make this a 7/7, any creature you have any creature you have can stride right through an opponent who is controlling a 6/6. Now, obviously, that's unlikely. Very unlikely. She's good in a counter deck. I almost put her in my unit deck because unit distributes counters, and I can just do counters on counters on counters. So if you made this a 20/20, there's literally not a creature in sight that can block you, and you have a 20/20 on your field. Which, why do you have a 20/20 on your field, and why is it Champion of Landball? Well, that's pretty easy. It's to kill people easily. You're one-shotting. Depending on how many creatures you have, you're one-shotting. But, not the point. But this is kind of just the gist of the EDHRC. If you've never used it, I think you should use it. But let's get to the task at hand. Let's see if it see if it wants to work. Thank you. Thank you. Many thanks. Okay. So, for this Mindflayer deck, I was kind of not upsetty spaghetti about the ending of Stranger Things, but it felt really uncomfortable for the last 45 minutes to an hour of the episode to be them living their joyful little lives all peacefully. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. Not saying they deserve to be peace and live in peace and be happy. It just feels weird when there's not a massive shadow god in the sky on the other side in a wormhole that is conscious and around and always threatening your will to live a peaceful life. And knowing he's not there anymore really irks me. It just rubs me the wrong way. So I decided to make Maw of the Void, which is Mindflayer, obviously with us given the term in the season called the Void, which where he's from. Uh, and real quick, when I normally make a commander deck, I normally try to make two commander decks, one that is apparently maybe good or bad, and then the other being an adversary to that deck. So I made Bringer of Light with the commander being Ezeka. I haven't made this deck. Closer to the when I'm done making the Mindflayer deck, if I, you know, if I'm done, then I can take that and do it with what I will. I can make an adversary deck for one deck, so I can have two decks be pretty much, it's like how they do their precon sets. They normally have a deck that two decks that can go against each other, but not as theme wise because they're pretty much just precons that are out to be poster boys for the whole set. But I did Ezeka because Ezeka is also a legendary enchantment creature, and Mindflayer just so happens to be a legendary enchantment creature. Why is this not different? Okay, I'll explain that in just a second. Okay, that's not working. Anyways, okay, real quick. So this is the Mind Flayer card. Yes, there's a Mind Flayer card. If you're new to Magic, surprise. I didn't realize this till I first started playing. I literally saw it one time and I said, "Oh, I want that." But he is a secret layer, and he's not really a secret layer because I think he's technically a universe beyond a universe beyond card. But I'm pretty sure he's not. I'm pretty sure he's just a secret layer as to, sometimes they make a secret layered card that is its own card. Uh, so the way to know is you see this little shooting star. It's a secret layer. Awesome. There you go. Mind Flare the Shadow. There would be a card name under here, just like how Archaon has his. So let me scroll up real quick. I'll show you what I mean. So Archaon is a secret layer. He has the shooting star. Yay! There you go. You figured it out. But You see a card name under the bottom, Nagila the Blade Blossom. A lot of secret layers are reprints just for some cooler art for players who have a card they like, and who are cards who are good commanders. Nagila being one of them. But Mindflayer does not have one, and there are a lot of secret layers that actually are their own cards. A lot of cards, when they first started making them, before they were secret layers, there were Universes Beyond, where we had cards like Grimlock from Transformers. Then we got Transformers in a set. And it wasn't even a Transformer set, it was just you'd get a Transformer in maybe in a pack. I don't know if you saw on my Mox field over here on this side when I was looking at my decks, I literally have a Soundwave deck. I have Optimus and Megatron. I just haven't maybe able to make anything with them. I have Starscream. All right. There's no Shockwave, sadly. That's some BS, but you live and you learn. It's beggars can't be choosers. But Mind Flayer is his own card. He was the first of this card, and why I say that is because the reason this art appears different is because this is an entirely different card. So this is Arvinox, which came out in Duskmorn. And when I went to the card shop for my little naive self to, can I have a Mind Flayer? He said, I don't have Mind Flayer. That's a secret layer card. I said, oh, okay. Then he said, but the newest set, Duskmorn, does have a card release of this ability, if that's what you're wanting. Personally, me being there at the time, I didn't want it for the ability. I wanted it because it's a Mind Flayer. I'm gonna be so honest. I wanted it for the card, which who doesn't? Come on. You don't just look at a commander and be like, I want it for the ability. Are you serious? If you want it for the ability, you're kind of strange. You're kind of strange. That's like looking at a humunculus 1/1 and being like, yeah, he's ugly, but I like the ability. And the ability is tapped for 1 mana. I don't know if that's a real card. I don't think that's a real card. But I'm just saying, you can understand where I'm coming from. I hope. Because if you choose cards based on abilities and not what the card is, why are you making a commander deck in the first place? Because the whole deck is centered around the commander. And it's not really even the ability half the time. I think I think one of the only commanders I could really understand to do that would be a precon or a singled out commander that someone plays, like Atraxa, Praetor's Voice, the Flying, Vigilance, Death Touch, Lifelink one. It's at the beginning of your end step you proliferate. So if you're doing it for the proliferate ability, that's fine. However, in Edge of Eternities, we got a precon that proliferates. So you tell me, are you going to choose for the ability or are you going to choose it for the commander? Because if you choose Atraxa and the droid, you're choosing the droid because you either just want to proliferate, or you're choosing the droid because you genuinely like robots and you like proliferating decks. Which, okay, kudos to you. You are the right kind of person, and you're not the kind of meanie who chooses it for the ability. You're lame. You're lame if you're choosing it for the ability. Come on, have some fun with the game. Have some fun. Enjoy it. Now, if you're choosing Atraxa, we all know where this is going. If you're choosing Atraxa, Praetor's Voice, you not only want to proliferate, you want a card that's Flying, Vigilance, Death Touch, and Lifelink. You're a sweat. You're a sweat. I'm sorry, you're a sweat. I have this card, and let me explain to you why I have this card. When I first started Magic, yes, Duskmorn was my first set, but the singles I would buy would all be Phyrexians, because I loved Phyrexians. Jin-Gitaxias is my favorite Phyrexian. I bought all three, two of them being in the black and white, kind of like paint, splatter paint art. Super awesome. Probably my favorite art of all Magic. It's so cool. I love it so much. I also have a Shield Dread in that art. I have a Soulfem in that art. I have yet to get a. I have yet to get a Vorinclex and uh, what's the red one's name? Is it Burask? Urabrask. It's Urabrask. I have yet to get black and white of those two, but that's okay. I also have one of Elish Norn, so I like the art. But I saw Atraxa. I have the like fancy, very golden beams, golden borders on the card, golden art behind her. She's holding a stick or a staff of some sort. I chose that one because I literally saw Phyrexian Angel Horror. Wow, not only is she a Phyrexian, she's a horror. I want this card. These are two categories I really like. I didn't know what Proliferate meant at the time. I also bought her for the Flying Vigilance, Death Touch, and Lifelink. I said, wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. But I'm just saying, if you make a deck based on the ability, are you really getting all the joy out of Magic's Commander that you can? And I also want to preface that I don't play uh is it CDH? Yeah, I don't play CDH. I play casual with my friends, and that's enough for me. That's fun. That is fun. Playing a casual game of Commander with your friends. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with playing CDH, but you gotta be miserable as all hell to not enjoy it. But let me. So the weird thing is, I can type in. There's Mindflayer, but guess what? That's not the one we're looking for. So you can try and type in Mindflayer. Oh, what? It did come up. I'm gonna hurt myself. Okay, so last week when I was looking into making a Mindflayer deck, and I have glanced at a few of these cards, but I was like, oh, it'd be so fun to do a stream. So here we are. Anyways, um, is he upside down for the comedic beat of him being in the upside down, or he is? Okay, I'm not gonna read the ability to you. But when I was looking, and I would type in Mind Flayer, the Shadow, he wasn't here. The look up there, the original, and that's not the original name. This is not the original name. Mind Flayer came out before Arvinox. I want to preface that Arvinox came out in Duskmorn. Mind Flayer came out in a precon forever ago, like early Stranger Things, you know. So original, you can call it the original card. This is not the original card. The original card is Mind Flayer. I just want to preface that. And you can look into getting the Mind Flayer for yourself if you want to. I personally just ordered mine yesterday. I wanted a hollow one that's near mint, and I got it for about 44 bucks. So, sorry, I can't type. I can't type. You ever just feel like you were better at typing way back then? I do. So, if we go to TCG Player, because that's where I get them from, you're more than welcome to buy them from wherever. Just make sure you're getting the best of what you can. Make sure you're spending money in the right place. Which is Magic the right place? Mm-hmm. But does it matter? Oh, he dropped. He dropped. This was 60. This was 60. This was 60 last week. So there you go, guys. He's actually going down. And yeah, LSD. I didn't mean to say that. That was a Freudian slip. That was a Freudian slip, everybody. SLD. SLD. Secret layer drop. Okay, we're just gonna get off the topic. I can't do this. Okay, so what I want to look at real quick is, so if you look up Stranger Things, we'll look at the traditional foil instead of the non-foil. Are you serious? That was terrible timing. Don't mind me, chat. There's some stuff over here. Anyways, this is the Stranger Things, which I've only gotten one secret layer. It was the Winter Hatsune Miku from my Angel deck. Uh they do such a nice job with these boxes. I still have mine. Mine's just a gold, but I like this red a lot. But you can see it might be worth just getting the Mind Flayer if you want the Mind Flayer, unless you're really wanting to chip in $180. I mean, it's 171, yes, but it's 10 with shipping. So if you're okay with that, but there are a lot of cool cards. You've got 11. I actually haven't looked at the card list, and I kind of wish this would show me the card list. It is climbing though. So if you're wanting to get this, now might actually be your window. 200 at most. Low is 97. Wow, so these are still gaining some traction. Dang. So since October, it's been climbing. Wow, so back in October would have been your time to shine. You know why it's going up? The show just ended. That's why you gotta get them while they're there. Let me see if I can find the card list actually. You know what? Actually, that's okay. I'll let you guys look at it for on your own time. Do whatever you want. Oh, Moxfield, did you just shut down on me? Okay, there we go. All right, let's finally, after what, an hour of me talking and exemplifying stuff, let's make the Mind Flayer deck. So, as we can see as our categories, I'm gonna leave it as all because I want to have fun with this deck. I want to have a lot of fun with this deck. I'm gonna go with any kind of budget because I glanced at a few cards. They're not too expensive. They're really not. And you can play Exile, Theft, Reanimator, and Ramp. I'm gonna tell you right now, he is not a ramp deck. He's a mono black. You're gonna be fine. Rean all three of these, you can do all three of these in one deck. That's not that big of a deal. But exiling is going to be theft. I'm just gonna tell you right now. That is theft. The way this deck works, or I'm sorry, the way the Mind Flayer works, yes, that's theft. That's how it's going to happen. All right, now let's get into making this deck. Oh, my nose, man. Okay, Mind Flayer, the Shadow. He is a 7 costing mana with 4 colorless, 3 black. He's a 9/9. On top of that, he is not only a legendary creature and a horror, he is a legendary enchantment creature, which means there's a gimmick for him to come into play. He can be on the field. There's just a gimmick, like all other enchantment creatures, for him to be a creature, which is, in my opinion, is a little more fun than some of the gods, because some of the gods kind of suck booty, but that's just me, man. Except Etsuka. Etsuka is the only god I've ever wanted to make a deck with. She just looks joyful. But Mind Flayer, the Shadow, isn't a creature unless you control 3 or more permanents you don't own. You ready? This is gonna be a blast. Your friends are gonna love you for playing this deck. At the beginning of your end step, exile the bottom card of each opponent's library face down. For as long as those cards remain exiled, you can look at them, you can cast any permanent mana. Sorry, hold on. You may cast permanent spell. Sorry, I skipped a line. You may cast permanent spells from among them, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast those spells. You're gonna be okay mana wise. If you want to add some mana stuff, you go right ahead. Go right ahead. I'm gonna add a mana rocks and maybe a mana dork or two, but you should be okay. It's a mono color deck. You're gonna be okay. It's not gonna be the end of the world. So how this card works is you exile your opponent's bottom card from the library, and until you have 3 or more under your control on the field, he's an enchantment. He's an enchantment. Then he becomes a creature once you have 3. Um, so that's kind of nice. The only like issue here, mana wise, is that you can cast permanent spells. You can't cast permanent cards. You can cast permanent spells, which I should have just said non-land permanents. But, you know, different time, different age. It's okay. But you can spend it. You can spend it as mana of any color for that spell. So that's kind of the nice part. It is, they could have been rude, and if you're playing, you can only cast it with the same mana you have, but they're not. So let's go look at it. And I like how this is upside down, uh, because it's the upside down. Oh, get it? All right, so we've got some new cards. And you can see the synergy. I'm not really interested in any of those, though these two might be interesting. This land enters tapped unless you control a basic land. Tap for black. Pay 3 colorless, a black and tap. Create a 1/1 colorless spirit creature token with. This token can't block or be blocked by non-spirit creatures. I kind of like that. And I feel like the tree and the background, it looks like the void, does it not? You're not gonna know what I'm talking about unless you've watched. So all you gotta do is go up here, and we're gonna add our first land if it loads. So actually, first off the cusp, I'm just gonna type in swamps because that's what we need. I'm gonna let it load, and then we're gonna type in. I messed that up. There it is. Realm of Co. 49 cents. A little closer to what this is. I think they're both going off of Castle, which the middle one's TCG, obviously. So TCG's got it a little bit cheaper, but on TCG, if you find an expensive card, look through all the sellers. I promise you, all the sellers are going to have it listed differently. A few similar, but they're all going to be different. So just make sure, if you're on a budget like moi, make sure you're looking at all your options. Really list out everything you've got. I bought Mindflayer because I literally got paid yesterday, and I just wanted a card. Now, am I going to go to the card store tomorrow and try to make this deck? Maybe, but he won't get delivered till the 21st, so I'm really not worried about buying a deck right now. Now we have Ko the Face Dealer, which is Realm of Ko, the whole thing. When Ko enters, exile up to one other target creature. Whenever another Dawn token creature dies, you may exile it. Which, that's really good. That's really good. You may pay 1 life, choose a creature card exiled with Ko. Ko has all activated and triggered abilities of the last chosen card. This isn't a bad card. This is a good card. The only issue is these two are not playing into each other. He can cast the cards that are exiled in general with him. He can only play with creatures that he has exiled. When Ko enters, exile up to one other target creature. Whenever another creature dies, you can exile it, giving Ko a exponentially long list of cards he can play with, which he'd be a fun commander too. But guess what? I don't like Ko like I like the Mind Flayer, so that's not what we're here for. However, he does look to be a good card, and his synergy's 6.6. So, just so I don't forget, I'm gonna grab Ko, the Face Stealer. He's 129. It's not terrible. We're gonna add him, but we're gonna move him to the sideboard, which I'm not pressing all these keys for this stupid commands. We're just gonna throw him in the sideboard. I normally throw things on the sideboard when I'm looking and I'm kind of like, oh, maybe I kind of, you know, maybe I kind of want to put that in my deck. But really, Ko wouldn't. Ko could definitely be something from the Upside Down, or I guess the Void, but that's not what's happening here. When we have Realm of Ko, which does fit the Void, which is what we're going to do. So, Brain Stealer Dragon and Gaunty Lord of Luxury. I definitely think the dragon fits a little more, but if we look at our synergy here, the synergy is way higher. Probably better cards. Not to mention, he's a horror. He belongs with Mind Flayer. So let's look at the ability. Well, actually, he's 850, Gonti's 25, so he's probably going to be one of the more expensive. But if we look at some other cards, they aren't too high on the bidding order. So let's take a look. He's a 6/6 flying. He costs 7. That's unfair. At the beginning of your end step, exile the top card of each opponent's library. You may play those cards for as long as they remain exiled. If you cast a spell this way, you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast. So kind of playing along the same lines of Mind Flayer, except you're taking from the top of the library. Whenever a non-land permanent an opponent owns enters the battlefield under your control, they lose life equal to its mana value. This makes Brainstealer Dragon a really good dragon. I'm sorry, not a good dragon. He's a good dragon, but dragon-wise and for a dragon tribal, mm, nah, not really. He's just kind of a mean card. But given the Brainstealer Dragon, oh, he's 12. Okay, so it's going off of castle as well, I believe. Oh, look. Oh, why did I say it like that? Why did I say, oh, look? So, Brainstealer, oh, that art kind of looks cool. But he has an exile format, so he's gonna go with the. Was he upside down? Hold on. Were they both? I swear it had them. It does it not? It has them upside down at first. Is that a gimmick as well? I'm not playing this game, man. Okay. Then we have Gonti, Lord of Luxury. When Gonti, Lord of Luxury, enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of target opponent's library. Exile one of them face down, then put the rest on the bottom of that library in a random order. You may cast that card for as long as it remains exiled, and mana of any type can be spent to cast a spell. So he's also playing into the realm of using black mana for any kind of colored mana, just like Brain Stealer and Mind Flayer. So we are going to add Gonti. I can't spell for the 5th time today. And there are a lot of Gonti cards. I don't think I have this Gonti, but I have a Gonti. I think it's from Aether Drift, maybe. And then let's see. We've got Elder Brain, which is a hot card. Apparently, people are playing the hell out of this. Menace, 6/6, cost 7. Unfair. Again, why are we making 7 casting cards? Why are we making 6/6 cards 7 costing? Whatever. Menace. Whenever Elder Brain attacks a player, exile all cards from that player's hand. Then they draw that many cards. You may play lands and cast spells from among the exiled cards for as long as they remain exiled. If you cast a spell this way, you may spend mana as though for any color to cast it. So again, playing into the same lucrative deal as Mind Flayer, Brainstealer, and Gonti, making these 4 menaces. They are genuinely menaces. He even has menace. He's a 6/6. But this is a really good card. Straight out of the hand is insane. Meaning, Elder Brain is kind of your mana finder in a way, even though you're taking mana. You know what I mean? But at the whole thing is the whole Mind Flayer. This whole thing. Holy crap! Do you see that? I like that art. The whole thing with Mind Flayer is that he is in the show putting himself into others and making them pretty much his pawns and taking them and using them. Especially in season 3 when he takes like what 4 different couples or families, parents, and he just turned them into meat mush to make himself a meat body in the overrealm. So that's kind of what you need to do. That's the whole point of the deck. You want everyone else to do what the Mind Flayer does. Take. Take. You just got to do by the motto, which makes it fun. Does it make it mean? Does it make your deck a threat? Entirely. Entirely. But you have to be willing to come with that mindset to play the deck. You know, if I want to play a Mind Flayer deck, I want to play the Mind Flayer deck. Obviously, I'm not done, but you know what I mean. Let's see. Enchantment, Cunning Rhetoric, 3 cost mana. Whenever an opponent attacks you and or one or more planeswalkers you control, Exile the top card of that player's library. You may play that card for as long as it remains exiled, and you may spend mana as well as any color. So, Cunning Rhetoric, really good. What I spell? Oh, Cunning. I just saw it. Yeah. And again, not a super expensive card. Sadly, though, with these different cards, our deck is at 58 bucks about on the castle. On the castle. Let's see what else we can find. We're still high synergy as well, which doesn't doesn't bother me, but they are kind of expensive. But they're expensive, which if you're not struggling with mana, everything on your battlefield should be through the Mindflayer. But you're obviously gonna have to get 7 mana first. So that's 7 turns if you don't have any artifacts. When Intellect Devour enters a battlefield, each opponent exiles a card from their hand until Intellect Devour leaves the battlefield. You may play lands and cast spells from among cards exiled with Intellect Devour. If you cast a spell this way, you may spend color of any color. So I think his is a little different than our Intellect. When he enters, each opponent exiles a card from their hand until Intellect Devour leaves the battlefield. So I think once he leaves, they get the cards back. I'm not sure. Because he doesn't have a thing where he's ongoingly exiling like the other three or other four. But you can play lands with this one as well. I do hate the rule of name where you may play lands and cast spells from one card exiled with Intellect Devour. I hate the rule of name where they have to include the name because if it just said cards exiled, if it said cards exiled, you could play it with any of these. Does he have rule of names? I think he does. I don't know. His might be a little different. He might be able to play any cards. It's just a problem for as long as those cards that are exiled through him. So that's probably something I'm gonna ask a few people about, and I'll probably even ask my card shop guy because I normally ask a lot of my questions to him. So I think Intellect Devourer. What am I saying like that? Intellect Devourer. I think that's a good one. Thieving Amalgam. At the beginning, he's a 6/7. Don't do it. You're not funny. We're killing it this year. 2026, we're killing 6/7. I'm smiling though. It's so fun. It's so funny. He's 7 costing, 5 colors, 2 black. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, you manifest the top card of that player's library. Wait, does that mean manifest Dread? Put it onto the battlefield face down as a 2/2 creature. Turn it face up any other time for its mana cost if it's a creature card. So this is Manifest Dread before it was Manifest Dread. Yeah, because manifesting dread or manifest dread was a new ability that came out in Duskmorn, but this is not Duskmorn. I think it's before Duskmorn because I haven't seen this set with anything. Ape Snake. I don't like the subtype, but you know what? The ability is disgusting. And whenever a creature you control but don't own dies, its owner loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. That's a good card. He's an ongoing exiler as well. Let's get him. Let's get him in the team. Why does that look wrong to me? I don't know. It looks wrong. All right. So this isn't going as fast, but you kind of have to go through them. And it's normally if I'm not, this is my first time streaming, making a deck. So apologies, apologies. I actually okay. So I did. Gisa was one of the cards I did kind of skim over and was like, that's a good card. She is a 4 costing, 2 black, 2 colorless, and a 4/4. Now it's making sense. If a creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead. At the beginning of your upkeep, put all creature cards exiled with Gisa, Glorious Resurrector, onto the battlefield under your control. They gain Decay, which I used to think Decay, I've never played with Decay in my life. I used to think Decay was it dies in 2 turns, like the zombie worm. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a zombie worm. It has something like finality counter or something. I don't know. But they gain Decayed. A creature with Decayed can't block when it attacks, sacrificing at the end of combat. So, a really good synergy I'm already seeing with Gisa. I didn't read about the Snake Ape, but if we look, whenever a creature you control but don't own dies, its owner loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Meaning, you let's say you're in a pod of I play with a pod of 5 or 6, that's only about it. If not, it's 4. But I play 4 other people. Let's say I get her onto the field and you're using Thieving Amalgam's ability. Beginning of each opponent's upkeep, you manifest the top card. You take those. And they're just 2/2s, right? And then you also have, if an opponent controls would die, exile instead. Geese is collecting cards as people are fighting each other. You're just the middleman. You're not even a middleman. You're an onlooker. You're not even bothering anybody because you are not even attacking anyone. Cards are just being exiled into your favor with Gisa and Thieving Amalgam. Anyways, Thieving Amalgam's making 2/2 manifested dreads. Gisa is exiling cards that are dying. At the beginning of your upkeep, you're putting all the other creatures that Gisa has collected onto the field under your control with Decay. Swing with everything. Because even if they don't die, they have Decay, which means you have to sacrifice them. And then, Thieving Amalgam's ability, whenever a creature you control you don't own dies, its owner loses 2 life, you gain 2 life. If you're losing all those 2/2s and you're sacrificing the 4 or 5 creatures with Gisa, you're gaining like 6 to 8 life and you're dealing 6, 8 life around the table. Not to everyone, it's like 2 life to each one, but doesn't matter. So yes, Gisa is a great card, and she needs to be having a home in the deck. So we're gonna add Gisa. Gisa, Glorious Resurrector. Okay. Let's see what else. Deadman's Chest, an enchantment aura costing 2. 1 black, 1 colorless. Enchant creature an opponent controls. When enchanted creature dies, exile cards equal to its power from the top of its owner's library. You may cast spells from among those cards for as long as they remain exiled, and you may spend mana as though they were mana of any type. Desmond Chess is a great card. That'd be such a good card to start off with, too. Why are we going down? That was weird. Again, he's not a lot. He's 50 cents. Intimidate 5/5. Put target artifact or creature card with converted mana cost X from your opponent's graveyard on the bottom of your control tap. And that player mills. So he kinda is doing what the Mind Flayer does by taking. Let's see what this does. Court of Lockthwain. So 4 costing, 2 colorless, 2 black. When Court of Lockthane enters the battlefield, you become the Monarch. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of target opponent's library. You may play that card as long as it remains exiled, and mana of any type can be spent to cast it. If you are the Monarch until end of turn, you may cast a spell from one card exiled with Court of Lockthane without paying its mana costs. Okay, so Court of Lockthane. I don't want to keep clicking up here, but it's just like instinct. Okay, Court of Lockthane is expensive on the castle, but not on TCG. So looking at top cards, this is going to switch it up a little bit. It's going to help out with mana, both of them. So we will add Dark Ritual, simply because I have one, and I mean, it's a good card. Why didn't it give me a price? Is it a new one? New art? No, it's just an old. Ooh, ooh. I love the art on that one. I've never seen that one. Mainly because I don't do mono block decks, and I never really have a reason to play Dark Ritual. Guess who has a Crypt Ghast? This guy. He was one of he was one of my cards my cousin gave me for my first standard deck. He just let me pull out of a box, which is crazy. But Jet Medallion 2. Let's see. We will add Jet Medallion. Okay, okay, okay. What else could I use to make this? We don't have any jet because black spells will cost less, and like Mindflayer, there are a lot of heavies. He's a 5 costing, 2 black, 3 colors. Sorry, I'm thinking. He is a 2/4. What's going on with the coast? Why is that so expensive, but yet so niche in power and toughness? When Grey Merchant of Asphodel enters, each opponent loses X life, where X is your devotion to black. You gain life equal to the life lost. What? Each swamp in the mana cost. Oh, mana cost. Okay, not mana. Okay. I saw permanence and I was like, I thought devotion didn't count lands. That's a great endgame card. Yeah, that's disgusting. Defile. Target creature gets -1/1 until end of turn for each swamp you control. He's a cheap card, and it's kind of like what's it called? Is it Archfiend who does counters? It's not like that at all. There's a card. I can't remember what it is. I think it's a Dungeons and Dragons card. Uh, but it it pretty much just puts -13 on a card. It uses 13 or 11. I don't remember. I think it's 13 though. Feed the Swarm. Destroy target creature or enchantment an opponent controls. You lose life equal to that permanent's mana value. Oh, feed. Yeah, no. With a black deck, you have to be ready to lose life. That's what a lot of black decks do. Which Feed the Swarm seems to be the only one that's hurting me in any way. But it is getting rid of a creature or enchantment. So let's see. Nircon of Revenant. I've never seen this one. 4/4. When you tap a swamp for mana, add an additional swamp. +2/+2 until the turn. So she can be a 5/5 and she costs 7. No, she costs 6. You're lucky that ability's kicked in, but it doesn't kick in until she's on the field, so whatever. They're kind of Revenant. Definitely should be in here because it's Cryptcast. Yeah, Cryptcast is also whenever you tap a swamp for mana, add swamp to your mana pool. So you're getting 3 for every single one. Solemn Simulacrum. We're gonna add both of these because I play Solemn Simulacrum in a lot of my decks. He may not give Mindflayer vibes, but he kind of looks like Vecna, don't we think? Look at him. I mean, he's not. Yeah, I mean, yeah, whatever. He's sad because he lost. All right, target player draws 2 cards, loses 2 life. I want that for me. Reanimate. Put a target creature card from my graveyard on the battlefield under control. You lose life, which is mana value. I don't know if I want Reanimate, but I will put it in my sideboard in case I don't have enough cards. Because I do so often have this problem of having a deck that I'm like, wow, I really like this deck. But then I don't, then I'm like 10 or 8 cards short, and I'm kind of like, oh, that sucks. So right now, I can't even see this stupid thing down here. Are you serious? Hang on, let me see if I can move it. Oh, my bad. I can't even move it. Okay, hold on. Oh, it won't even let me view it. Okay, there we go. 22 in my main deck, one on my sideboard. I should not have two on my sideboard. Was it reanimate? Yes, it was. Do 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 do. Okay, now we got two, which I think Ko might end up coming into the deck, but we'll see. All right, on to the game changers, which obviously our synergy just took an incredibly steep drop with these guys. Not every game changer is going to have great synergy. It's a game changer. It's going to change the name of the game, and it just makes it easier for you to win or be more of an oppressant towards your opponents. So, let's see. Opposition agent. It's a creature. Human rogue. 3/2. Oh, and you only cost three. That's fine. It's fine. Flash. You control your opponents while they're searching their libraries. While an opponent is searching their library, they exile each card they find. Hold on. You control your opponents while they're searching their libraries. No, you don't. It can be lands. You may play those cards for as long as they remain exiled, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast them. That's an expensive one too. That's the problem with game changers. They're quite a bit. Let me look at Bolas's Citadel. Bolas, Nicol Bolas. He is 6, 3 colorless, 3 black. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may play the top card of your library if you cast a spell. Oh, if you cast a spell this way, pay life equal to its converted mana cost rather than pay its mana cost. Oh, you can play the top card of your library. If you cast a spell this way, it says we can play the top card, so I think it's including land because that would also allow because this allows you to play land. That would mean this can play you a land. Lord have mercy. Yeah, that's a game changer to be sure. Bolus's Citadel. Cursor. Okay. I really want Opposition Agent. That's such a good card. So, okay, yeah, I was gonna say, there's no way I spelled that right. There you are. Vampiric Tutor. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you ever buy a tutor, good for you, man. I unfortunately cannot be like that. I do have a demonic tutor, which I might take out of my Soundwave deck and put in this deck. I do have a Necropotence, but I don't know if I really want to do that. Skip your draw step. Or you discard a card, exile that card from your graveyard. Pay 1 life, exile the top card of your library face down, put that card into your hand at the beginning of your next end step. Whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent or discards a permanent card, you may put that card from a graveyard on the battlefield under your control. That's a god. What's the back do? Target player loses 3 life until they sacrifice a non-land, unless they sacrifice a non-land permanent or discard a card. Untap Tigrid's Lantern. Oh my lord. Uh, yeah, she can go in there. I didn't think I was gonna have so many game changers for this deck. Just because it's such a specific, just because Mind Flayer is so specific to what it needs to do and what it's trying to do, I did not think there were gonna be this many. I will add Necropotence though, so I'm not cooking. I do have a Necropotence. That's why I'm adding it. We're not adding Ancient Tomb. We're not adding Mana Vault. We're not adding Orcish Bowmasters. They're all expensive. So here are some other creatures. And actually, what are we low on? We've got a lot of creatures. Not a lot of instants, not a lot of sorceries. We only have two lands for right now. So I think what we should do first, before we really get into it with creatures, is we should look at some lands. I'll let that load. My computer is taking a beating. So I don't even know if Command Tower would be worth adding because it's a mono deck, though I think I have one in there. I couldn't tell you why, but I'll tell you what we will add. Okay, I didn't tap O, but apparently I did. Reliquary Tower, a great land card. I'll tell you why. Every deck should have a Reliquary Tower, no matter what you're doing. You have room for one. Don't tell me you don't. Uh, you just don't have a maximum hand size, and you can tap for colorless. It should be in every deck. As far as I'm concerned, in all the Tarkir precons, I bought four out of the five. Every single one had Reliquary Tower. As did Valgavoth, as did the Eldrazi. Even my Bloomburrow with the raccoon had one. I think I don't remember his name. Is it Bello? Bello the Bard? I think it's Bello. But every single one should have a Reliquary Tower. Spell the Profane, and that's a land or an instant. Mm, that's expensive, but it could be a land. So we will add it. For the Profane, Felmire. Let's see. Urza's Cave. Sacrifice Urza's Cave. Search your library for a land. I don't hate it, but I don't know if I like it. Choose target creature. You lose two life until end of turn that creature gains. When this creature dies, return to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control. I do like that. I do like that one. It's a little expensive. It's actually a bit. Jeez Louise. It says 9 on TCG, so Exotic Orchard is good. How? Oh, ho, ho. That is disgusting. Why it's not a lot more, I couldn't tell you. Sorry, I'll read it out in a second. Let me add this. Demolition Fields. Tap to add a colorless or pay two and tap to sacrifice this land. Destroy target non-basic land an opponent controls. That land's controller may search their library for a basic land, put it on the battlefield. Then they shuffle. You may search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. That's good. I think we might do Exotic Orchard too. That's it? Okay, well, I'll add command tower. And we will add Hagra. Okay, let's see. I don't think I added Exotic Orchard. No, I did not. So let's get Exotic Orchard in there. Now, these are just lands. I'm not looking at utility lands, which is crazy because a lot of these felt like a lot of some of these, like this, that feels like a utility land. But granted, even the flips should be, oh my lord. Okay, well, if I see Bochigaba, oh my lord, I chalk that phrase so badly. Bojuga, I'm not even gonna say it. I'm gonna say something wrong, and that I'm gonna get I'm gonna get in trouble on my first like video I actually try to upload. Okay, okay. Bojuka Bog, thank you. When this land enters exile target player's graveyard. It's just a nice chokehold, but we will. Butcher's Cottage. When Butcher's Cottage enters the battlefield, tapped. Uh, unless you control three or more swamps, when it enters the battlefield untapped, you may put target creature from your graveyard on top of your library. Um, does someone want to tell me why the music stopped? Hang on, let me add Witch's Cottage real quick. I'm not sitting with the silence. I was low key in it. I can't spell. There it is. I actually might have a Witch's Cottage as well. Okay, let me come over her. Don't do that. I know. Look at my blank wallpaper. Oh, was it trying to play an ad? Can you play the ad and get it over with? My computer is so hot that it decided not to play the ad, which is fine in my opinion. I really don't care. I could care less. Okay, back into it. There's Reliquary Tower, Temple of the False God. I do like that one quite a bit as well. Which I do have one as well. And if I need to take it out for this deck, I totally will. Castle Lochlane. Castle Lochlane enters a battlefield tapped unless you control a swamp. Draw a card and you lose life with a number of cards in your hand. You know what? I'm all for chance, baby. I can't spell. Castle Lochlane, War Room. I don't hate that. I've never seen this one come up from when I make a deck, though. Kind of cool. Oh, we definitely need Rogue's Passage. Rogue's Passage is a really good one. It just makes a creature unblockable, but most precons and I think most commander decks at this point have them. Most decks have them. This means stage. That's really good too. What the heck? Oh, let's see. What? I thought it was pretty on point with what I wanted. Kind of missing an A. Okay, we're gonna swim back up because we are losing a bit of synergy on some things. The problem is why I don't want to even bother reading these is they are like $50 each. and I really just don't know if I need to do that. Cabal Stronghold, I'm fine with. I'll read them, I guess. I don't want to use them because there are a lot. Mm, yeah, we can do Cabal Coffers. We might do one of those, but it might just be a while till I get it. Jeez Louise, dude. Okay. Once we're done with utility lands, I'm just going to up the swamp count to whatever I want the um land count to be at, which will help out a good chunk in my deck space. Each land is a swamp in addition to its other types. That doesn't help me at all. No, it does not. Actually, yes, it does, because if I take people's lands. Oh, dang it. I see the vision with this one. Plus, the look of it just fits the Mind Flayer, dude. Okay. Nykthos, Shrine to Nyx. Tap to add 1 mana to your mana pool. Pay 2 and tap, choose a color. Add your mana pool an amount of mana that color equal to your devotion. Oh. Well, we already have a card that does that, though. That's still a good land, don't get me wrong. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Actually, we're gonna put both of these in my sideboard. Oh, Urborg, not Urbog. Really? You can't just give me a win? Oh my lord, that's disgusting. You know, I'm gonna be so honest, these might be two cards I genuinely make some printed off copies of. Tomb of Yawgmoth. Yeah, because my deck just went up by like $100. This is a terrible representation of both of these websites because I promise it's not this slow. It's just my MacBook being a bit of a dunce. Oh, there are planeswalkers. I'd say Liliana of Dark Realm is probably the best one because you can just search for you can just search for whatever. Oh, they're the only two planeswalkers. If you can see my face right now, this is a crazy commander. Tevat Sat, Doom of Fools. He's a 4 loyalty counter entering with a 5. Make it make sense. Even that one is 4 and 3. Okay, I guess I see the vision. He can get a +2, create 2/0/1 black throw creature tokens. +1, you may sacrifice another creature or planeswalker. If you do, draw 2 cards, then draw another card if the sacrifice permanent was a commander. Gain control of all commanders. Put all commanders from command zones on the battlefield under control. He can be your commander. He has partner. Lord have mercy. Liliana, I actually have this one. Search your library for a swamp card. Target creature gets +X/+X or -X/-X until end of turn, where X is the number of swamps you control. And her best move, -6. You get an emblem with swamps you control. Add 4 mana to black Moundstroke. Tap to add 4 black mana to your mana pool. Both of those are really good. We'll come back to it. We'll come back to it. I'm gonna skim a little more through the lands, see if I can just kind of come to a close on the lands. Takanuma, Abandoned Mire, tapped to add black, three colorless, one black, discard Takanuma, Abandoned Mire. Nail three cards, then return a creature or planeswalker card from your graveyard to your hand. This ability costs one less to activate for each legendary creature you control. I kind of like that one. Mortuary Mire. Enters tapped. When it enters the battlefield, you may put target creature card from your graveyard on top of your library. That's a good one. That is a really good one. Oops. I'm not a fan of that. Tapped as a copy as a land on the battlefield. That is awesome. I've never seen these, but they make sense for mono decks. Command Beacon, sacrifice a land, put your command on into your hand from the command zone. Yeah, I'm gonna need that. All right, we will do Baron More. I like that land as well, and it's cheap. I'm still gonna try and get this deck tomorrow. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to complete it or even get like the expensive things, but I may not even try to get the expensive things. What does this turn into? Oh my lord! When it transforms into Heaven Guard Mystery, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Oh, whoops, my bad. When the creature put onto the battlefield with Heaven Goal leaves the battlefield, transform Heaven Goal Mystery. I don't like it though, because you're paying one life to add a black, where we have so many that are adding black already. When you it gains tab, add colorless. Pay two tab, add zero. No, that's not coming in my deck. Untap target attacking creature, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to and dealt by that creature this turn. It's a little pricey, but I am gonna add it just because it seems pretty good. Untap, you can tap this land to untap target attacking creature, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to and by that creature this turn. So you could do it on one of yours, or you could do it on one of theirs. Okay, I've got 20 lands. Not terrible. Uh, Crypt of Agadim. Land is tapped. Tap to add one. Ooh, that one feels good. That feels better than Maze of Ith, actually. That feels way better. That feels better. That feels much better. Okay. I don't. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know if I don't think I want Maze of Ith in there. Then it's $12. At least maybe like 8 or 9. I don't want that in there. I don't want Maze of Ith. Sue me. I hyped it up and then I took it out. Okay. So we've got 20 lands. I normally play with about 36 to 35. Yes, that's a different art. I just don't want that art. So switch printing. Uh, let's use cheapest. I hate when I add a card in here and it's like, oh, here's some nice printing for you. Who wanted that, buddy? It was Command Beacon. Yeah. Okay, and then what we've got 20 lands, 23 including some switches, but that's okay. Which I'm guessing are these three. So 34 should be the right one. So we're gonna go to our swamp here. We've got one already. We need 34 to, well, you know what? I think I'd rather just juice the absolute crap out of it. Oops, almost dropped my water bottle. Let's add, trying to think. I've got 20 in there. So I guess we could just add 16. That seems safe. I thought about adding Terramorphic Expanse and Evolving Wilds, but honestly, I think I'll be okay. All right. Now I'm gonna try and blast my way through this because I'm just I'm a little like, man, this is taking me a minute. And I normally like to have something on, and I don't have something on, which is my fault, but I'm also streaming, so that's really just not an option right now. Liliana of the Dark Realms, we will be adding. I kind of want that Tavish Sat, but it just seems like such a mean card. You only have to do that top one 3 times too. Yeah, we'll add him. Which I do have a good chunk of these cards. I do have a good chunk of these cards, so it's not going to be as much as what it is. Did that get added? Yes, it did. Okay, I just want to make sure. Okay, let me go over here. We're gonna go look at enchantments. Also, I just want to clarify that when you go to look at the enchantments or the artifacts or the planeswalkers, they will not be the ones that are in high synergy will not be down here. So, why is Phyrexian Arena right there? I don't know if that's worth it. Whenever a creature you don't control dies, return to the battlefield under your control with an additional +1/+1 counter at the beginning of the next end step. That creature is a black zombie in addition to its other colors and types. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. I guess I can add Phyrexian Arena. Grave Betrayal. Do 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 do. I clicked. Do I need to click again? Okay. Yeah, don't have a stroke on me, man. You're almost done. I don't think I'm gonna get to Essica today, but did I spell it wrong? Oh my lord. Oh, I forgot about the A. What? Oh, I see how I spelled it wrong. Man, I am just not with it right now. I will say that yesterday I was up for about 24 hours and it just wasn't great. I wasn't doing too well. I feel way better since I slept forever last night. I think I went to bed at like I think I went to bed at like 3-ish. Yeah, 3-ish. And I woke up like 1 today, maybe 12:45. Black Market. It is a 5 costing, 2 black, 3 colorless. Whenever a creature dies, put a charge counter on Black Market. Beginning of your re-combat main phase, add black mana for each charge counter on Black Market. That seems like a good one. If a lot of the creatures weren't super expensive, I wouldn't try to be mana ramping so much, but there are a lot. A lot. Why did you do this to me? Well, that's $20, so obviously I'm not going to do that. Oh, I see what I did. I pressed enter. That's what happened. Yeah, back to deck list, please. It's loading, apparently. Longer than I would like it to. Doodly doo. I think enchantments were good. I might be done with enchantments. I'll look at a few others. That one's kind of good. I do like it. Each opponent sacrifices a creature or a planeswalker. Each opponent discard the card. Put target creature or planeswalker card from the graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Eldest Reborn, it's Nicol Bolas. Unless that's Ugin, but I'm pretty sure that's Nicol Bolas. There's Black Market Connections. Meat Hook Massacre 2. When it enters, each player sacrifices X creatures. That is an expensive card. Whenever a creature you control dies, you may pay 3 life. If you do, return that card under your control with a finality counter on it. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, they may pay 3 life. If they don't, return that card under your control with a finality counter on it. I think I'm going to add Meat Hook Massacre. Meat Cook. I didn't mean to spell that. Meat Hook. Come on. There you are. Lord. I knew one of them were expensive. That's why I was like, that's definitely not going in my deck. No Mercy. That's so funny. I actually want that one just because. That's funny. Whenever a creature deals combat damage, you destroy it. Oh, that's awesome. I don't think I've ever seen this card. There's Meat Hook Massacre. Yep. Which this isn't a bad card either, but when Hedonist Trove enters the battlefield, exile all cards from target opponent's graveyards. You may play land cards exiled with Hedonist Trove. You may cast non-land cards exiled with Hedonist Trove. You can't cast more than 1 spell this way each turn. All time. No. We're gonna go. Nah, Ernest. I'm not. It does play into the exile realm of things. Yeah, okay. We can do Hedonist because it does play into Mindflayer's abilities. And plus, it's like if you're low on lands, it definitely helps. And I kind of want to do Eldest Reborn. It's slowly turning into a graveyard deck, which is not it's not really the direction I want to go. Okay, I'm done with enchantments because I need creatures and artifacts. I have like no artifacts. Actually, what am I doing? Let me do mana artifacts first. It is so cold in here, man. I have the heat on. I have a heater on me. Pause. Um, are we gonna get there, sweetie, or are we going to not get there? I'm really hoping the music isn't too loud because if that's the case, then no one's been able to hear me this whole time. All right, so do I have any artifacts? I literally have no artifacts. Okay. I just want to preface, I use a lot of artifacts. A lot. So we'll add a soul ring because if you want, you gotta. Why would you not play soul ring? Arcane Signet. Because what's a mana rock without it being Arcane Signet? I absolutely lumbled that spelling. There you go. Which these aren't too expensive either if you're just making a deck off the rip or if you're taking apart a precon. Normally they always have those two. Mind Stone. I'll definitely add Charcoal Diamond. Do. I don't really like playing Thought Vessel because I feel like it'd be targeted way too easily. Thran Dynamo will definitely be added because of how expensive most of their cards are. And actually, I think I will. I didn't spell that right. I caught it before it caught me. Actually, I think it did catch me because that's why nothing was popping up. It was loading. I was like, what card is he looking for? I will add a Thought Vessel just because play it safe with hand size because I know how expensive some of these cards are mana wise. It's reaching a price I didn't really expect it to at 560. But then again, I have gone to get a deck before, mainly as my Soundwave. I think it was about 5 to 600, and when I went in to go get the entire deck list from my, my local card shop, it was not $500. It was actually 215, which was super pleasant to be greeted with after waiting 30 minutes for the whole deck to be done. As Cage Sun enters the battlefield, choose a color. Creatures you have the Cage Sun is good. I remember I used to have that card. I actually might still have it. I don't think I do, but I remember looking at it and I was like, this just doesn't. There's no way this is a good card. Now I realize, now at least playing a year of Magic, I understand. I understand the purpose. Next Lotus. Enter the battlefield tapped. Choose a color. Add an amount of mana to that color that's equal to the devotion of that color. Another devotion card. I think all the Nyx cards have done that. Because I think there's a land and an enchantment. So that's pretty cool. As Stone of Eldraine enters the battlefield, choose a color. Black. Add four. Oh my lord. Add 4 mana of the chosen color. Spend this mana only to cast monocolored spells of that color. Draw 2 cards. Spend only mana of the chosen color to activate this. It's expensive. So I think I'm going to skip it. Gilded Lotus would be great. Funny seeing a Warhammer card there when I literally added. I was doing Warhammer last night. Ah, don't be slow. Come on. Come on. You got it. Spectre of Eternal Glory. Add 1 mana of any one color. Oh, add 1 mana of any color. Add 3 mana of any one color. Activate only if you control 3 or more lands with the same name. Okay. Okay, so there's custom artifacts. Oh, we're already at 10. My goodness. Okay. We're gonna go to utility artifacts because I think we're good. I think we're fine now on mana rock artifacts. Utilities are more just like equipment, like Swift boots, or is it Swift foot boots? I think it is. I don't know. The Darkness Crystal. I've never actually played this card. Blood spells you cost one less to cast. If an untoken creature an opponent controls would die, instead exile it and you gain 2 life. Put target creature card exiled with Darkness Crystal on the battlefield with 2 counters on it, and it's tapped. Wayfarer's Bauble. I actually think I have a Wayfarer's Bauble. Well, I just want to say we will be getting a Darkness Crystal if I can find one. Hopefully, putting this together isn't a pain. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, Rito Lantern's good. I say this because Mindflayer specifically is exiling from the bottom of the library. So if there's a target card you want to be on the bottom, you've got it. Not to mention, it's kind of hard to get something not on the bottom of the library. Staff of Eden, Vault's Key. When Staff of Eden enters the battlefield, sorry. Put target legendary permanent card not named Staff of Vault Key from a graveyard on the battlefield under your control. Draw a card for each permanent you control but don't own. Not expensive and a good card. Yes, please. Not to mention it plays into my thing. So this is a thief kind of vibe is what I'm doing here. Bantu's Monument. I had a feeling. Why would I want this? Why would I want this? For that ability? I have this already. I like Bantu's Monument. Okay. Yep, be slow, I guess. Man, with how slow this is going, I actually don't know how vital it is to be streaming like this. I am using OBS this time, which I tried to behave and follow the rules for using OBS, but it feels like my computer is having a really hard time. I feel like my computer is having a really hard time keeping up. Okay, there you go. Added it. It's done. I'm sorry, wait, did I add this? Yes, I did. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, there's one like Lightning Greaves or Swift Boots, which I'll add it just for the heck of it. Swift, but I do it every time. I do it every time. I always put Swift Boots, and it's my Terraria rotted brain from over the last 6 years. Not even 6 years, the last 10 years. Let's see. Strionic Resonator. It is a two colorless, two pay colorless tap. Copy target triggered ability you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. I can see that being useful. Enchantment artifact. Creatures you control have lifelink. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste. Exile it at the beginning of the next end step. If it leave the battlefield, exile instead of putting it anywhere. I don't like that. I like the ability. I don't like the paid ability. Chaos Wand. Pay for tap. Target opponent exiles cards from the top of the library until they exile an instant sorcery card. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Then put the exiled cards that weren't cast this way on the bottom of that library in any random order. Oh, I don't hate that. And it's not too expensive, so I love it even more. Okay. I think I think that should be it. Mind Crank. I'm not doing Mind Crank. This is an expensive one. Beginning of your upkeep, put a target creature card from the graveyard on the battlefield under your control. It's a Phyrexian. I don't. This is not a Phyrexian deck. This is not a graveyard deck. This is an exile deck, dude. That one has some decent synergy with Mindflayer, but I have 17 artifacts. Oops. Okay, we're gonna go to creatures, and then I'll if I feel like I'm good on creatures, we're gonna go to sorceries, and we're gonna add some sorceries. I've only got 14 more cards to add, and then we can be done. I can take a break. I can stop yammering. I just want this deck to be done so I can make it and play it. I want to play this deck so badly. I can't even explain to you how badly I want to play this deck. I've wanted a Mind Flayer deck for a while, but I feel like now that I am in the smarts on Magic and Commander and I play enough, I feel like I can make a fun deck with this card. So already, I'm gonna tell you, we're putting Junk Troller in this deck. Tap, put target card from a graveyard on the bottom of its owner's library. Did I just add a card that does this? Yes, I did. You know why? Because when you play Magic Commander, you are pillaging and trifling through 90 what? You have your commander and then you have 7 cards, so there's 8. You are pillaging through 92 cards in a stack. I'm sure I'm not going to be able to find that one other card or even just Junk Troller in my first 20 cards. Dothy Voidwalker, he costs 2, but he's a 3/2. I like the way this card's working. Shadow, this creature can't block or be blocked by only. Oh, this creature can block or be blocked by only creatures with Shadow. If a card would be put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, instead exile it with a void counter. Sacrifice this creature, choose an exiled card an opponent owns with void counter on it. You may play it this turn without paying its mana cost. So wait, are you telling me this card is just exiling cards for the joy of it, for no reason? I don't know if I like that. That yells Valgavoth. And I don't mean Harrower of Souls, I mean Terror Eater. Actually, I wonder if he's in this list. He's like a big 9/9. Oh, this is the one I have. Gaunty Night Minister. When a player casts spells they don't own, that player creates a treasure token. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to one of your opponents, its controller looks. Oh, I'm sorry, hang on. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to one of your opponents, its controller looks at the top of the. Its controller looks at the top card of the opponent's library and exiles it face down. They may play that card for as long as it remains exiled. Mana of any type can be spent to cast this spell. So he's kind of. I kind of like that. That's keying to everybody, and everybody gets a treasure token. The I have this card, so we're fine. Rado Sentinel. I don't like that. There is Keurig. I am adding Keurig. That's not enough for you to go off of? Are you serious? What do you want me to do? Keurig, son of Yawgmoth. I don't know if I want Probomination. It's not a demon deck, you know what I mean? There he is. Valgavoth Terror Eater. Flying Lifelink. He's a 9/9. He costs 9. It's making sense. Ward. Sacrifice 3 non-land permanents. Insane ward. If a card you didn't control would be put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. During your turn, you may play. Wait, wait, no. No. Why is Black Cat on here? Are you serious? Get out of my face. Get. Oh, dude, what is going on? Bro, can you just. Thank you. Thank you. If a card you didn't control would be put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. During your turn, you may play cards exiled with Valgavoth. If you cast a spell this way, pay life equal to its mana value rather than pay its mana cost. I have this card. I have the gold full art is my first card. As much as I want this card to be in this deck, it's not going in this deck. Why? That's super easy. I'm making a Verena Mendrell deck. Or is it Marina Vendrell? I think dyslexic that just hit me. Yeah, it's Marina Vendrell, and she's in the Duskmourn, whatever. I want him to be in that deck because I want it to be a spooky house deck. But Jix Yawgmoth, it's going in. It's going in. I didn't mean to put C. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, Jix Yawgmoth. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Sweet. And he is a 3 costing. He's a 3/3. Wizards, it's starting to make sense again. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to one of your opponents, its controller may pay 1 life. If they do, they draw a card. 4 colorless, 3 swamps. Discard X cards. Exile the top X cards of target opponent's library. You may play land and cast spells from among the cards exiled this way without paying their mana costs. It's disgusting. Yeah, so you can discard like 5 cards and play the top 5 cards without paying mana. It's awesome. It's such a good card. I have this card, so we're fine. I skipped a few. What is this? Oh yeah, that Magus of the Coffers, the Magnus Coffer. Oh, he's a little much. Oh well. Thieving Varmint, Death Touch Link. Add 2 mana. I'm not really interested. Peculiar Primordial. Now we're talking. Intimidate, and he's an avatar. He's a 5/4, but he costs 7. You lost me, Wizards. When Sepul- oh, Sepulchral? When Sepulchral Primordial enters the battlefield for each opponent, you may put up to 1 target creature card from that player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. I like the way he looks. He's giving Void vibes. Welcome to the deck. If I can spell it. Sepulchral! Might just call this dude just Selp. That or Pulp. The Pulp Primordial. What? Did I spell it wrong? What did I spell wrong? What did I spell wrong? Okay, hang on, chat. I will be right back. I gotta go grab something. It's gonna pause the music again, but I don't care. I'm not here and I'm not listening. It doesn't apply to me. 9 more cards, then we're done. am back. Okay, let's finish the. The question is my music gonna start? Is my music going to start? Please? There we go. It actually has been 2 hours. Holy moly. Okay, let's get these last two. What were we trying to add? Sepulchral? Oh, I see. I added too many L's. Okay, there we go. Sepulchral Primordial. We'll add him. He fits the standard. All right, and we've got Burnished Heart and Dread Presence. 3 colorless for Burnished Heart. Pay 3, sacrifices creatures, search your library for 2 basic lands. A good card. Dark Presence. Pay 3, colorless, and 1 black. He's a 3/3. Whenever a swamp enters the battlefield under your control, you choose one. Draw a card and you lose 1 life. Dread Presence deals 2 damage to any target and you gain 2 life. I think both of these are good. That's Vecna. That's Vecna, dude. Nice. I feel like I should have a tutor in here, but that's okay. That's okay. The whole point is at least to get him on the field and start tickling everybody. What did he say? I don't know if I like Doffy. I don't know if I like that card. That's such a mean card. I don't want to do that card. That feels well, Doffy Voidwalker. If a card be put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, exile it with a void counter on it. But the problem is that you can, sure, you can have a few creatures get exiled this way, but I don't know. It just doesn't feel worth it. There's got to be better options, right? Bismuth Mindrender. 3 colorless, 1 black, devoid, menace, and a 4/3. Whenever Bismuth Mindrender deals combat damage to a player, that player exiles card from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card. You may cast that card by paying equal to its mana value rather than paying its mana cost. I don't like that one. Black Cat, Cunning Thief. When that's not that's not bad, but it's kind of like I don't want to play Black Cat. Author of Shadows. When he enters, he's a 3/3 and a 5. You already know what I'm gonna say. When Author of Shadow enters the battlefield, exile art cards from an opponent's graveyard. Choose a non-land card exiled this way. You may cast that card as long as it remains exiled, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast that spell. There we go. Author of Shadows. Rakasha the Basar. Cat Demon, 6/6, and he costs 6. We're back on track. Whenever Rakasha Debaser attacks, put 2 creatures from defending player's graveyard on the battlefield under your control. Encore, which isn't a bad ability. Exile this card from your graveyard for each opponent. Create a token copy that attacks that opponent this turn of Fable. They gain haste, sacrificing them all at the beginning of the next end step. It's not bad. Tiny Bones, the Pickpocket? Death Touch 1/1. Whenever Tiny Bones the pickpocket deals combat damage to a player, you may cast target non-land permanent card from that player's graveyard and mana of any type being spent to cast that spell. We might add Tiny Bones. That's such a funny creature. Human Shaman, when Plague Crafter enters the battlefield, each player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker. Each player who can't discards a card. Okay, so we will add. Tiny Bones is so funny, but oh, Phyrexian Obliterator. That actually fits because I have it. He's really good. He's a 4 costing, he's a 5/5. You spoil me, Magic. You spoil me, Wizards of the Coast. You spoil me. Trample. Whenever a source deals combat damage to a Phyrexian Obliterator, that source that source's controller sacrifices that many permanents. And we will also add Sheoldred, because I have her. And she genuinely looks like some shit that would crawl out of the Stranger Things. You can't tell me any of the Phyrexians don't look like they could. Good thing is, I have her. And I have Obliterator. So we're good. Two more. Our last two cards will be sorceries. I think. I have 5 instances, two sorceries. I'd kind of prefer to have more, but okay, let's see. Breach the Multiverse. It is 2 black, 5 colorless. Each player mills 10 cards. For each player, choose a creature or planeswalker card in that player's graveyard. Put those cards on the battlefield under your control. Then each creature you control becomes a Phyrexian. Whatever. Exile all creatures. For each card exiled this way, you may play that card for as long as it remains exiled. And mana of any type can be spent to cast it. Okay, we're gonna make Heartless Conscription. Ah, no! I just put all the words together. Dang it! It was right there. Two, but oh, it is going off of castle. Okay, we're not putting this in here. I just want to say that this is our board wipe, not this. Knight's Whisper. You draw 2 cards and lose 2 life. I like it. I like it a lot. I like Dreads of the Mire, low key. It seems like a fun card. Okay, so we're at 100. However, I'm gonna take out 2 swamps. Yep, I'm gonna take out 2. Okay, Dredge the Mire. Not an expensive card. Mutilate. Rise of the Dark Realms. That kind of fits, don't we think? I'll look at a few others. I really don't want to, though. Exsanguinate. Okay, so I'm actually gonna take out. I'm gonna take out three swamps. Sorry, I'm seeing cards I like. Exsanguinate. Yes, please. And then we are gonna grab Rise of the Dark Realms. That's Vecna. I'm just kidding. That should have went through. It went through. Okay. 100 cards and foreign my sideboard. I think Urbog is gonna get put into the deck. It's so expensive. Well, there's the there's the deck. It is $667 on Castle. I don't know how many on TCG. I can look, but that is the Mindflayer deck. Maw of the Void. It is done. 100 cards. We've got Mindflayer and a whole lot of his Goonies. What would be the better word for that? I didn't like that. How about cronies? Cronies or lackeys works better. I think it's a good deck. I think it'll be fun to play and bring to life. It's just gonna be hard because God, it's so expensive and it's such a making a commander deck entirely in one go is such a hard thing to accomplish. But um thanks for coming to the stream. If you came to the stream, I'm gonna upload it later on YouTube. Don't know how much I'm gonna have to cut out, but that's it. That's the deck. I've been streaming for about 2 hours, so I'm pretty happy with it. Um, and if you like the deck, that's if you want to come see the card list, uh, there's the name. I should probably change my profile thing, but who cares? Um, I will include the link in the YouTube video if you are interested in playing or making this deck. Or if you want to make your own Mind Flayer deck, by all means, make your own Mind Flayer deck. Have fun with it. There's so many ways you can build the deck, but I think this is a good one. I think we we're gonna let done. I'm drained. I'm so tired from doing this. This is normally what it takes me how long to do, but I'm normally like eating or I'm watching something, so streaming it and just listening to the what am I even listening to? What am I listening to? I am listening to medieval fantasy music. And it's literally about to end. So, that's the stream, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I will upload the video when I get a chance.